Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Minutes after Congressman Collins received the devastating, highly confidential news that Innate's drug had failed its drug trial, Congressman Collins tipped that inside information to his son so that his son could trade. Cameron Collins, when he received that illegal inside information, he did two things, both of which are illegal. He sold stock based on that inside information and avoided $570,000 in losses. And he also took that illegal inside information and tipped others. He tipped his fiancée. He tipped his fiancée's wife. He tipped his fiancée's father, and he tipped a friend, all of whom traded on that illegal inside information.
Over 3 days.
Steven Zarsky, his fiancée's father, avoided $143,000 in losses by trading on that information, and he tipped others. He tipped his brother, he tipped his sister, and he tipped a friend, two of whom traded on the information. One attempted to trade on the information, but was unable. In total, the conspirators avoided losses of over $768,000, all because of the initial illegal insider trading tip by Congressman Collins.
That is so vile, I can't even tell you. But this is exactly who this corrupt cabal is. I told you yesterday. Yesterday we had primaries. Ohio is too close to call. Chris Kobach seems to be taking on the incumbent governor, Collier, in Kansas. It's too close to call. I mean, it's just insane what's going on right now. But here you have a congressman who, is tipping off his son, tipping off his son's fiance, tipping off his son's fiance's mother, his son's fiance's father, his son's friends, and, of course, he's tipping off Tom Price, our Health and Human Services Secretary. And what's really interesting about all these guys, Tom Price ended up being our Health and Human Services Secretary, just like Wilbur Ross, the former vice president of the Bank of Cyprus, very famous for money laundering Russian money. And now you got Manafort on trial, and Manafort's, everything that they talk about in this trial is, and he got transfers from Cyprus. All came from the Cyprus Bank, the Cypriot Bank, Wilbur Ross. I mean, it's just so unbelievable. Okay, so now you could add one more to the cabal. We thought that Tom Price was dirty, but it turns out that not only was our Health and Human Services Secretary dirty, but this Congressman, Chris Collins, who was also on the transition team. When are we going to start hearing Tom Barrack's name? Tom Barrack, who headed up the transition. Remember that? And did the inaugural and what the money, came roaring in. Oh, the whole thing is so, like I said yesterday, everybody around Trump has to be dirty. It's the only people he feels comfortable around are people that slime and cheat and steal and are corrupt. And I told you yesterday, corruption itself is on the ballot. Stop this red and blue thing, okay? Although I will say the red ones are the most gullible. The blue ones are fighting their hearts out to try and hold accountable the red ones who have been corrupt since the day that they oh my God. Anyway, this man is so vile. I can't even tell you. Okay, so here he is, like on several TV shows, and he's defending Donald Trump. Now, this is recently because this is his reaction to the Helsinki summit, which just about every right-thinking red, white, and blue American, and by that I mean everybody, saw the president kissing Russian ass and saw the president giving Vladimir Putin permission to attack us even more, and said, well, he said strongly, and he said, powerfully, he didn't do it, and I believe the only freaks that actually defended Donald Trump are the people who are the most corrupt, who are probably in need of a pardon, right? And one of those guys was Chris Collins, congressman from Buffalo. Went on Chris Cuomo's show, and Chris Cuomo was saying, I mean, the whole world saw Helsinki. How can you defend what he did there? And Chris Collins has a way.
When you look at how tough Donald Trump has been, when he expelled 60 of their diplomats over the death of those 2 agents, when you see the sanctions that he's loaded up, when you saw now today, he's the one that approved the indictments of the 12 individuals coming out before he went to Russia. Or went to Helsinki.
What?
He has been taking the steps with sanctions and things well beyond anything President Obama did.
What?
Well, hold on a second.
And
Let's
he
take
has
it point by point.
And he has said time and again
Let's take it
that
point
he
by
does
point, Chris.
understand they meddled in our election.
Well, but he said the opposite on the world stage
and
in
that's
Helsinki.
why he misspoke.
And then, so now you are saying that he misspoke.
Oh, yeah,
Because
I'm
before
saying
you
he
were making the
misspoke.
case that he didn't want to deal with it because it's better for peace overall.
No,
but now
I'm
you're saying he got it wrong and he believes that Russia meddled. That's what you're saying now.
Absolutely. He believes Russia meddled.
Okay, we're going to take that on,
all
but just
do.
one by one. One, you guys in Congress voted 98-2 on those sanctions. The administration slow-walked it. We got 100 sources on that. You know Trump was against doing the sanctions. You know he complained.
I disagree with that.
He complained about the bill and said it was a gross overextension, and you were hurting his ability to negotiate.
Yep.
When more sanctions were offered up, he said no to doing them. When it came to getting rid of the diplomats, he fought that, and it was slow walk through the Treasury.
Yep.
Those are the facts. It happened, but it wasn't at his urging,
it happened.
and neither
Right, as
was
the
that
president.
indictment. If you're saying here tonight, Chris, that the president told Rosenstein to put out the indictment, is that what you're saying?
I am.
Oh, my God. So this man just sat there and lied and said that the president of the United States somehow is instructing the Mueller investigation, and that the president is being consulted and asked for his permission to indict Russians as part of the Mueller investigation. What? I mean, the lying that they do, and that's a very fine point, and I understand it. But he better call Saul. Doesn't he even look like Bob Odenkirk? Doesn't he? Oh, my God. I was watching these clips this morning. I was like, oh, my God, better call Saul. And then I went, why am I thinking that? Oh, because he looks like Bob Odenkirk. He's just sitting there freaking lying. And here, Chris Cuomo plays Donald Trump's equivocating. And Chris Collins is still going to defend Donald Trump like the good cult member he is, because he's going to need the president.
I accept our intelligence community's conclusion that Russia's meddling in the 2016 election took place. Could be other people also. There's a lot of people out there.
Can't be other people. If it's Russia, it cannot be other people. The IC says
why would you
it
say
is
that?
nobody else. That's the conclusion.
Hey, I serve on the telecommunications and the oversight committees on energy and commerce, and let me tell you, we are being
good
hacked.
about that.
Hundreds of thousands, if not million times a day, people probing from any countries, whether it's Iran, North Korea.
But that's
I
not
hate
the
to say it.
context of the discussion. This is who attacked us during the election. The answer is Russia, not or somebody else.
Right.
You know what he's doing. He's casting doubt on the conclusion, and why he does that is the big question.
I think he's stating factually every country that is an adversary to ours is probing us, whether it's our elections, whether it's our electrical grid, whether it's our banking, whatever it may be. They are probing all the time, and I wouldn't doubt for a second there were other folks playing around in our election, and it was Russia, absolutely, 98%. But I wouldn't be surprised either if you didn't have China or Iran or North Korea or some other country.
Don't you understand that as a hedge against the main conclusion, especially in conjunction with these other statements? Let's play the mashup.
Yes, play it.
I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful In his denial, I think that the United States has been foolish. I think we've all been foolish. Where is the server?
Oh, my
I want to know,
God.
where is the server? What happened to Hillary Clinton's emails? 33,000 emails gone, just gone.
Does not sound like he is agreeing with the intelligence
Oh,
community.
no, I'm convinced he absolutely agrees with the intelligence
Well,
community.
if he absolutely agrees, then why did he have to correct it today? And why were we the embarrassment
Hey,
of the international stage?
Yeah, really.
We all misspeak on occasion, but I will tell you, when you look at our standing in the country today, a lot of it has to do with the news media. When I watch folks use terms like treason, oh my God, Chris,
that was Brennan who said it, the former CIA director. It wasn't the media. He's a former CIA director.
Yeah.
So how is it the media?
How is it?
Well, because it's being reported now and pushed like this guy's got some level of credibility.
What?
There's no credibility
The
for
former
someone.
head of the CIA, the president of the United States, stood on the world stage next to Vladimir Putin, who until Trump, you guys all hated. By the way, I grew up with a generation of Republican leadership who saw Russia as the absolute inimical force to freedom around the world.
And they still are.
And now he stands next to him, he shakes his hand, he says he's a good man, he agrees with him against his own government, and you say it's the media? Thank God for the media testing power, Chris, or maybe we wouldn't be in this situation today of trying to get the president to clarify where he is.
They are missing the long game, which is peace in this world with North Korea, Iran, and Syria, and you're not going to get there unless Vladimir Putin is negotiating with, I think, the best negotiator.
So you have to let him get away with attacking you during the election.
He's not getting away with it.
So you have to let him think that you don't believe he attacked the election.
Here's what we don't know. There was a lot of one-on-one time between Vladimir Putin and President Trump, and I have spent one-on-one time with President Trump. He does not mince words. He knows what's going on. You'll never meet a sharper, smarter individual than President Trump.
But he misspoke on the most important statement that he had to make yesterday in front of the entire world.
Right. He misspoke on the most important stage he would ever be on in front of the entire world, and that came after he trashed NATO. Right? That came after he yelled at NATO, screamed at NATO, told them they're deadbeats, basically. And, of course, you know, there is no account called NATO that the United States pays into, nor does any other country pay into. NATO, the agreement about the 2% of each country's GDP, that means each country spends 2% of its gross domestic product on its own military. And that agreement was forged between the NATO allies and Barack Obama in 2014. I mean, everything that they say is just a lie. Everything. And this man is twisting himself into a pretzel to say that President Trump, represented the United States in the most patriotic manner on the world stage in Brussels with the NATO summit and then in Helsinki with Putin, because he knows he's going to need him, because he knows he's dirty, because he knows he's corrupt, because he knows Tom Price got caught too. And by the way, Tom Price, our Health and Human Services Secretary, now gone, was invested, and this is so crazy, in the same damn company, Innate Immunotherapeutics, the same damn company. And Senator Patty Murray, during a Senate hearing, was questioning Tom Price on his investment in this company and whether or not he was getting tips from Congressman Chris Collins. And this is almost a year ago.
Recent press reports about your investments in the Australian biotech company Innate Immunotherapeutics raises some serious questions about your judgment, and I want to review the facts. You purchased stock in Innate Immunotherapeutics, a company working to develop new drugs, on 4 separate occasions between January 2015 and August 2016. You made the decision to purchase that stock, not a broker, yes or no?
That was a decision that I made, yes.
You were offered an opportunity to purchase stock at a lower price than was available to the general public, yes or no?
God.
The initial purchase in January of 2015 was at the market price. The secondary purchase in June through August, September of 2016 was at a price that was available to individuals who were participating in a private placement offering.
Oh, my God.
That was lower than was available to the general public, correct?
I don't know that it was. It
You don't know?
It was the same price that everybody paid for the private placement offering.
For the private one.
Well, Congressman Chris Collins, who sits on President-elect Trump's transition team, is both an investor and a board member of the company. He was reportedly overheard just last week off the House floor bragging about how he had made people millionaires from a stock tip.
Right.
Congressman Price, in our meeting, you informed me that you made these purchases based on conversations with Representative Collins. Is that correct?
No,
That is what you said to me in my office.
What I believe I said to you was that I learned of the company from Congressman Collins.
And now Congressman Collins, who was on the Trump transition team, who actually, Tom Price, what a small world. Tom Price, when we first heard that clip, when I first played that clip, to show you that Tom Price was dirty and that Tom Price was engaged in insider trading, I really didn't understand that Chris Collins, the congressman from Buffalo, was on the transition team and that he was giving Tom Price inside tips and that he would end up being the one indicted. I really thought that it would be Tom Price who was being frog marched out. But wouldn't it be something if Tom Price is cooperating now with the Southern District of New York to save his own skin? And this is how we got Chris Collins today to get indicted. Wouldn't that be something? That all the rats are turning on each other, just like in the Manafort Gates trial. Rick Gates is sitting there like Henry Hill pointing at Paul Manafort. He's just pointing at him going, he's the one that ordered me to do it. I did everything I did that was illegal, and it was all illegal, and it was cheating, and it was stealing, and it was enriching ourselves, and we were, bilking the treasury, and we were paying taxes, and we were different. And it was all from the Bank of Cyprus. Wilbur Ross, talk to him too. Talk to Wilbur. Do you know what I mean? And Manafort is sitting there, how did this happen? And the same damn thing here. I think Tom Price is probably pointing a finger at Chris Collins going, he's the one that, and he probably lost his shirt on top of it because he's not one of the co-conspirators named today by the Southern District of New York, which means he didn't get the tip to sell, which means he probably lost millions of dollars and he's pissed. Can you believe what this group of people around Trump do? And, they're sitting on the TV today and they're going, you're not saying that this has anything to do with the Trump administration, are you? Oh, no. It has nothing to do. Of course it does. This is the first congressman to endorse Donald Trump, Chris Collins, who's been indicted today. This is Tom Price, who was also invested in that same damn company. That same damn company, while he was a legislator, while they were voting on bills to give NIH, National Institutes of Health, money to this company, to give grant money to this company, to keep people who have insurance from getting discounts if this drug would ever succeed. Literally ripping off, people that are suffering from secondary multiple sclerosis who may have had a shot. Oh, God. Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me. Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show. Turn up your mind.